You have to know yourself. You have to know who you are. And you have to do some searching in there. The worst thing in life, the worst feeling is you had dreams and you can never live up to them. They never happened in reality. If you really, really want something, if you really love it, if it's really important to you, you will find the energy. You will find the answer. Failure is a good thing. Failure teaches you what your limitations are. If that failure defeats you inside, then you're done. How do I find my life's test? One of the laws is, I think the most important, basically make people dependent on you. You don't want to appeal to people's love, to the fact that they like you. You want to appeal to the fact that they need you. Because if they love you, love is a very tenuous emotion. In fact, it doesn't work very well in the work situation. It causes all kinds of problems. They'll get rid of you tomorrow, even though they like you. But if they need you, it's like pulling out all of these roots of a plant. To get rid of you, it's going to cause all kinds of damage all over the place. They need you and they can't get rid of you. So you need to make sure that your position in a company, in life in general, you're the only person who can do that. I talk in that particular chapter of several strategies. So let's say you're in a corporation, you kind of don't just depend on one person. You just aren't just necessary to the boss, but you spread yourself out to 3 or 4 different networks. You get a sense of how the whole company is functioning. You have your roots in this place, in this place, in this place. So you have more knowledge, it's kind of spread around. And to get rid of you is going to cause a lot of problems because you're not only involved here, but you're involved here, here, and here. And you have knowledge that nobody else has. So you want to have a kind of knowledge and skill base that makes you unique, you know? So, and that means just don't depend on one skill, but have several skills and don't be afraid to do that. That's, I think, is probably the key strategy here. But when it comes to if you're an entrepreneur, it's the same dynamic for an entrepreneur. It's the same dynamic for me. The way you make yourself necessary and others dependent on you is to be the only person who can do this job. You are so unique. There's only one Elon Musk. There's only one Steve Jobs, right? They're irreplaceable. They're not afraid to be themselves, have their own style. And so, that's what secures their position. So if I wrote books like everybody else, I wouldn't have that position of power. But because I'm the only one, for better or for worse, who can write books the way I do, I have secured a position in the publishing world. So it's a law that applies everywhere. In my book, Mastery, I call it knowing your life's task. This was what you were meant to accomplish in life, right? And you're very firm about it and you feel very confident about it. And so when people come like that editor did and tell me that you shouldn't be a writer, you're able to deflect it because you have a dream and nothing will get you to sidetrack from that dream. But also having a sense of accomplishment. So it's not just you're a con artist, you've actually accomplished A, B, and C in life, right? So if people come and attack me, I don't really care because I have this that I can always fall back on. I have a book that sold 2 million copies. How many people can say that? I don't care, bring it on. I'm fine with that. But the one other thing I would say about that is that you want to, in the case for all people of power and any position you are in life, I have a law in the 48 Laws of Power called never appear too perfect. And the danger in the world today is, the number one danger is envy. We live in a time of social media, etc., where it's massive envy, where we know what everybody else is doing in life, and we don't like to admit that we're envious, so we attack people passive-aggressively. We subvert them, we try and throw obstacles in their way. We criticize them when in fact we envy them. And the strategy there is to learn how to deflect envy. So if you're Jeff Bezos or Elon Musk, you have to have some humor, you have to have some self-deprecating humor. You have to take the criticism that comes and kind of laugh at it and go along with it so that you don't appear all stiff and rigid and defensive. You have to know your strengths and play to your strengths. So if I tried to show this kind of confidence and boldness on a basketball court, I'd be laughed off. If I tried to show it with my artwork and my painting and my doodling, I wouldn't be able to pull it off. But I know that I have one thing that I'm strong at. It's with words and language and writing. And so I can pull off being bold because I feel inside myself that inner confidence. You have to almost deceive yourself that you can accomplish this. So I can go on the list through classic introverts who've been incredibly successful. Albert Einstein was a terrible introvert, even though he seems like he's sort of this comic person who's good with people. He was terrible, very awkward and timid. But he knew one thing that he was so good at, and he pushed on it and pushed on it and pushed on it. And when it came to physics and relativity, there was nobody else who could argue with him. So play to your strength, play to what you know, what you're good at, what you've accomplished. And even the worst introvert in the world, like myself, can exude that kind of boldness. You have to know yourself. You have to know who you are. And you have to do some searching in there. So the passion thing, it's kind of a cliche in a way. I want you to look at the things that you were drawn to when you were 3 years old, 4 years old, 5 years old. I do consulting work with a lot of people who are kind of confused about what I call your life's task. And we go through a process. You want to see something that attracted you here so deeply you can't even put it into words. Because the way the human brain works is that you don't learn things with any kind of intensity unless your emotions are deeply, deeply engaged, unless you're excited by the subject, right? And so if you're kind of in a field that is because of the money or because it kind of half interests you, you're not going to be learning, you're not going to have that intensity of focus that all successful people have. There's a kind of a level that you hit where the work is exactly what you were meant to do. It's what excites you. It's what your skill level, you're up to the challenge, or maybe it's a little above you, and it brings out the best in you. And you want to find out what that field is or what that subject is. And so once you find it, everything else will fall into place. So for me, I knew it was writing. I just couldn't figure out which writing form of it. But once it occurred, everything else just fell into place for me. You know, we all have dreams, particularly when we're a child. And to me, the worst thing in life, the worst feeling is you had dreams and you can never live up to them. They never happen in reality. Yeah. And so that would have been giving up on a dream. It would have been selling my soul. I would have been able to write, but I would have been unhappy. I may not even be alive right now if I had fallen down that rabbit hole. And I recognize how lucky I am. At the end of a day of working hard, you feel kind of a satisfaction that you got a lot accomplished. At the end of your life, when you feel like you've worked hard and you've kind of done what you were supposed to do, you feel like you had a blessed life. And the reverse of that, which he doesn't discuss, is it's the end of your life, you're in your 60s or 70s, and you're reflecting back about all your missed potential. That is true hell. If you have an idea, if you give all of your effort, if you work really hard, and you put all of your focus into it, and you've done, like you wrote a book with lots of research, and you know it's a good book, and yet it only sells 2,000 copies, you can feel a bit upset about it. You're gonna be upset about it, no doubt, but you're gonna bounce back because you knew that you put in all the effort. And you know, failure is a good thing. Failure teaches you what your limitations are. Because if you go through life and you have success after success, you're never learning, and then you're gonna have a much worse downfall because you're gonna get grandiose. So failure is a good thing as long as you put in the effort, as long as you did the job the best you could. Okay, it didn't sell so much, I can learn from it and I can go on to the next project. Because if that failure defeats you inside, then you're done. Because you're never going to recover your confidence. Your next effort's going to be even more, half-assed, etc. So you have to. It all comes from within. So when you have that failure, learn from it and put yourself in a position where you're ready to bounce off to the next project. Who really are you in the end? You know, what constitutes you, the essence of you? What were you meant to accomplish in this world? Right? Your sense of purpose. What is it that makes you an individual, makes you unique, that you alone are meant to accomplish in life? Well, it's not given. We don't know it. And a lot of people really, really struggle with trying to figure that out, right? Because they've been programmed by their parents, by their siblings, by the culture, by their teachers, to say this is who you are, this is what you should believe in, this is what you were meant to accomplish in life, this is what's cool and what's not cool, okay? And so you have to question yourself. You have to say, is this really who I am? Am I really interested in this subject? Am I really interested in this kind of person, in getting in a relationship with this kind of person? And so question yourself on that level. You're getting at a deeper and deeper core of maybe who you are at essence. You're cutting away all of the social stuff that's been foisted upon you, that it has nothing to do with you, right? So in some ways, you're kind of a mystery to yourself, and you're sort of trying to solve that puzzle. And you have to ask these questions. Is this something I'm actually really interested in? Is this an intrinsically important thing to me? Or is it something that's in the culture or something that other people have told me? And questioning that over and over and over again is not to lead you into this abyss where there's nothing real. It's to get you closer to who you are, to what really matters, to what that essence of you is, to what you were meant to accomplish in life. And once you reach that inner kind of gold, then you have a degree of certainty. Mm-hmm. So I knew from a very young age that I wanted to be a writer, right? I had a struggle to figure out what kind of writing I wanted. But knowing that's who I am, probably about at the age of 8, it allowed me to go, I'm not interested in that. I don't want to do that. This isn't important. Why am I following this career path? Why am I wasting my time here? And then, so knowing that kind of core, you don't have to keep questioning yourself. So I'm never going to question myself, why are you a writer? Why are you writing books? You should have been a pop star. You should have been a rock singer. You should have written poetry. You should have been a lawyer. No, I'll never go there because I have that firm ground beneath me. And that's what your questioning is supposed to lead to. Get to the essence of who you are. And once you're there, you have a degree of certainty in your life. The most important thing that you can discover or learn, which is what I call your life's task. And the idea is simple. You were born as an individual, completely unique. The DNA that comprises who you are has never existed in the millions of years of evolution and will never exist in the future. It is completely who you are. Your experiences as you grow up from 1 year on is unique in the world. Nobody ever in the past or future will have exactly your experiences, exactly your parents, etc. That marks you as an individual, completely unique. It's like a seed that's planted at your birth, right? And if you cultivate that seed, if you cultivate that uniqueness, you discover your life's task, and you have success and power, and money will come to you, and your life will be fulfilled. And if you don't, to any degree, if you completely fail in that, then you're going to have the opposite. You're going to have a life of a lot of suffering and unhappiness and dissatisfaction. But the question always arises, how do I find my life's task? Robert, I really have no idea. The first thing I say is, it all depends on the level of your desire, which is true for anything in life. If you really, really want something, if you really love it, if it's really important to you, you will find the energy, you will find the answer. But if you're only kind of half interested in it, if you're only kind of teased by the idea, if you're intrigued by it, it's not enough. You'll never have the energy to go through the search of discovering your life's task. So I tell you, you have to love this idea. You have to love that unique person in you as if it's like an actual human being that you love. You're falling in love with it. You want them. You want to pursue it. It means a lot to you. You also have hate, because hate and anger is a very powerful emotion. You need to be motivated to this. What do you hate? You hate all the other influences in your life that are distracting you from your life's task. You hate your parents for telling you this is what you should go into. You don't hate your parents, but you hate them telling you that this is what you should go into. You need to become a lawyer. You need to become a doctor. You need to do this. Get rid of that. Get out of my life. Get out of my head. You hate peers who are telling you what's cool, what's interesting. You hate all the crap on social media that's filling you with what trends are, with what other people are doing, with what other people are interested. That's your enemy. The enemy is what people are trying to tell you what you should be interested in. So if you're able to generate that kind of love and to see clearly the enemy, then the life's tasks kind of flow to you in a kind of nice, fluid manner.